Oh, we're going
Or
live.
us.
Okay.
Oh shit.
And I guess you heard that from the gallery here, so I guess it's time to go live with Hotline Miami. All masks race with Cursed1701 and buffet time.
Could you move in Snowfest too, please? Oh, we're live. Oh crap.
Okay.
This is us.
Oh. So, hi.
So,
I'm Cursed. I'm
I'm
Cursed.
Buffett Tim.
And somewhere we've got a Snowfat.
We have a Snowfax, and he is very good at this game. And we're going to just, Snowfest, you want to count it down for us?
Buffet, no, I think your game feed is frozen.
Frozen?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're dead on clean hit right now.
You'd hate to see it, really.
is it? Come on. There we go. Okay, cool.
Alright, do we want to do the classic SRL countdown?
Ready for the third party to count you guys in?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, this can start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, let's do this.
Alright, so this is Hotline Miami, and this is All Masks at Snowfest. Could you do us a hot favor and explain why All Masks is a great category?
No problem. So, normally, categories are something along the lines of 100% or any. Hotline Miami is kind of a bit strange in that it doesn't quite have like a percent like many games would show for completion. However, obviously there's things to unlock. What there used to be 100% for this game, which unfortunately relied a lot of the time on grinding points so that you could unlock weapons at the end of levels, and that was really dull.
Heck.
So instead, the community chose to accept the category All Masks, where the goal is to collect every single mask in the game. Collecting every mask in the game entails getting a high score on each of the levels played with Jacket, as well as collecting any hidden masks throughout various levels, as well as on every one of Jacket's level, collecting a tiny puzzle piece that is only visible on like one screen and is usually really hard to see.
Oh man. Hey, Buffet, guess what I did? I've got the Metro letter.
Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna have to go back for it at the end, but that's fine.
Bruh.
So, one of the key things is these letters. So we need to collect 16 of them for one mask, and this one mask takes us like so far out of our way. And I have forgot one already, so I'm gonna have to go back and get that, which isn't actually too bad. There's worse letters to forget.
Yeah, I mean, I could start losing time, pretty easy, so.
At Snowfest, do you want to explain how guns work in this game and how great they are? I just had one happen to me. One guy just survived the frickin' bullet on me. I love it.
Hotline Miami, as a game, as a speedrun, is notorious for being fairly random. It's not quite how we've been seeing recently. There have been many games that are, like, the whole point of them is being random, like a roguelike. Hotline is fairly consistent, but some elements of the game are pretty random throughout every gameplay. Unfortunately, we actually even found through the code recently the exact percent, but whenever someone gets shot, there's a slim chance that they will simply survive. Thankfully, this applies to you as well, so you might randomly 25% of the time survive a single gunshot.
Some people deny it's 25%, but...
No, it's 25% though. We've gone through the code to prove that it was 25%. But oh man, it doesn't feel like that because a lot more enemies get
It
shot.
happened again.
Yeah. You never survive a bullet, ever. But they survive every...
Yeah.
So I'm on 2 enemies who have survived bullets, notably.
And the level that both of the players are on right now, Decadence, there is a skip that any percent could be done, and recently it was discovered you can actually use the skip on all masks as well. Unfortunately, you still have to go onto the second floor to collect the puzzle piece, as well as make sure you kill enough enemies to get a high score to unlock the mask, which currently there is no... There is no known RTA way to consistently get a high enough score while also skipping the level on just the first screen.
I reckon you can get it like somewhere between 1 in 10 and 1 in 15, and all that to save 5 seconds. It's... everything about it is awful.
It will never be done in RTA unless we figure out a way to do it differently.
This is bad.
Ooh, I didn't... That's interesting. I got really
Please.
good... that was...
it happened again! It's more than 25%, I swear.
Do you want to know? Do you want to explain how we came up with this category in the first place?
Oh yeah, this category, All Masks, was originally created because a few of us tried to run 100% of this game and realized the misery that it was grinding points so that we could unlock a weapon. You'll notice at the end of every level, when it shows them collecting the mask, it also shows a weapon that was unlocked, and at the bottom of the score screen it will say how many points are needed to unlock the next weapon, or like new weapon unlocked, etc. There is a long list of weapons in this game that gets unlocked by you getting score on various levels, and that you going through the game normally in one playthrough is not going to give you enough points to unlock all of the weapons, as well as if you get too many points, it's possible to, I'm pretty sure it just causes some kind of overflow, but it's possible to make the score needed to unlock the next weapon become like -2 billion.
Yeah.
And at that point, unlocking weapons kind of just becomes moot because you can't really... You could possibly make it overflow again, but at that point, there's no reason even continuing.
It would just be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Does someone want to
So we don't do
explain?
that, so we just get the masks.
Yeah, because then Snowfest and I realized, like, well, what is everything else we gotta do? And we're like, well, you need to get every mask and every puzzle piece. And we're like, how do we make a name for the category? Then we realized that you need every puzzle piece to get a single mask, and then we found out we can just call it All Masks, and it's great.
Exactly. This is unironically a very fun category. If you're looking to speedrunning Hotline Miami, the Hotline Miami speedrunning Discord is totally open for you guys to come on.
It is a drastic less amount of toxicity than previous years.
Ooh, also, I would like to point out that there are 2 masks in this category, being a new game category that you're likely to see. Those masks are Tony and Graham. Graham is, I don't remember the exact number, but it's about a 15% increase in movement speed, so any levels where you need to walk a long distance, just walking faster will be. Tony is essentially death incarnate. He makes it so that punching enemies rather than stunning them and knocking them down will instantly kill them, allows you to instantly kill enemies with executions, and also allows you to kill enemies that would normally not be able to be killed with just your fists, like dogs. You can just punch dogs instead of getting killed by them.
Oh, so fast. Can you explain hostages?
Oh,
A great mechanic that's definitely taught to you by the game.
Playing this game on mouse and keyboard is a very different experience than playing it on the controller, whereas in the keyboard controls, if you pick up a hostage by having a gun that you can use with one hand, like a pistol or an SMG or the double barrel shotgun, and it has ammunition in it, if you walk over an enemy who's laying on the ground and you normally press the execution button, it will instead take them as a hostage, and you move really, really fast when doing that, and many shots that come at you will hit the hostage instead of you, so you won't die getting shot a few times, essentially.
One of the bizarre caveats of that is, so if you were playing any percent, when we get to a level called Deadline, there's a really easy and very quick level skip to it. But for some reason, and I still don't quite know why, the skip just doesn't work on controller. Because for whatever reason, on controller you don't get the movement speed bonus. Now I just did a very difficult setup that you may have heard through the mic, which is I press spacebar in the lift. Does someone want to explain that? Because it's really difficult.
Do you know what?
There is... A long time ago, we had no idea what happened, but we knew that you could warp during this biker fight when finishing it. We eventually tracked down the cause of this, which is the game has a safety system for executing. Normally, you press space, and you're standing over an enemy, you'll move on top of them and finish the execution. The execution animation ends with you standing where you were when you killed them.
Got it.
This is so that it looks like you move forward onto the enemy when you kill them, and everything looks smooth and natural. The developers knew that there was, with how janky this game is, that there was going to be some chance that you might end up stuck in a wall when that happens. So they didn't want to have you end always on top of where you killed the enemy. So whenever you press space, before the game even checks if an execution is occurring, it will store your current XY coordinates. This is so if you end up stuck in a wall during an execution, the game can put you back to those stored coordinates instead of leaving you stuck inside the wall. The biker fight, however, does not require pressing space to begin the execution on him, and with careful placing and timing, you can actually get him stuck in a wall consistently so that your execution will end in a wall. Meaning if you press space before then, you can essentially choose where you want to warp to, because the game is going to warp you out of the wall to the last place you pressed space.
Are you saying that this game actually has tech?
This game, unfortunately, Hotline Miami officially has speed tech.
It is a bit tragic.
I can't believe my skill run has been replaced with this.
I almost forgot Carl.
Unbelievable.
Almost forgot Carl.
How do you forget Carl? He's right there.
I said I almost did.
No, Crackdown's great. We don't kill everyone because the police do it for us, kind of. But there's some
a $20 donation from Spooky Steph with no comment. Thank you very much for that $20 donation.
Thanks, Mr. Seth.
There's a very
really helps us out.
There's a very rare softlock you can actually do on the second floor. So, something correct me if I got the number wrong, but basically you need to kill 10 enemies to proceed. But if you go from killing 9 enemies to killing 11 enemies on the same frame, you've never actually killed 10 enemies. So you kind of just get stuck there, really. It's happened.
This is a really well-made game.
There's no issues. Also, Snowfest, do you want to talk about a certain couple pixels with that laser?
I'd really rather not.
Oh, there it is.
So as the police show up at the end of Crackdown, a laser starts moving left and right from the bottom of the screen that's supposed to represent like a sniper's aim, and if you step in front of a window with a laser there, you'll get shot and die immediately. Unfortunately, very frustratingly, that laser bleeds a little bit into the wall to the side, so it can, for a small area right around the window, like sills, you can get shot straight through the wall. And the laser comes to a dead stop once it actually shoots you. It stops moving left and right, so you get to see that you were shot through the wall as well, just to make it that much more frustrating.
That's why we have screenshots of it. It's happened to me 5 times.
It's happened to me, like... It never happened to me until ESA, I think. Which is...
I don't know how many times it's happened to me, because every time it happens to me, I just kind of, like, black out in a rage.
Sometimes it really do be like that, though.
So now that they're moving on to levels where movement over long distances is not as needed, and there's a huge step up in the number of enemies, Tony becomes the preferred mask, and you can kind of see how quickly and how efficiently you can, like, kill enemies in this. The main masks used in this game either involve making you move faster or making you kill faster, because what you need to do on the vast majority of screens is kill every enemy and get to the end, and just moving quick and killing quick both facilitate. Another random element in this gameplay is that enemies can respond to gunshots if the gunshot happens within a certain radius around them. And also, the chances of them responding is pretty low. I don't know the exact number, but it's less than 50%. And enemies don't care about the quality of the shot. A double barrel sounds exactly the same as a rifle shot to them. So to lure enemies effectively, you want to fire as many times as possible near them to lure them. Oh, don't worry, Botanic Intent. I'm gonna win this race, definitely. My third stream is gonna show up on the bottom.
He's gonna reveal the new Decadent skip.
Please no.
It skips the entire game and I just alt F4.
Oh my god. Curse, you might win this just because of that. Deadline 2 really do be like that sometimes.
Oh, it happened again. Can these people stop surviving bullets? It's really not helping me out.
So at the end of this level, we're going to be seeing another boss fight, and at least in my humble opinion, boss fights don't quite lend themselves well to the gameplay of Hotline because it's kill or be killed. Everything is very fast-paced. So how do you fight something that is supposed to be like a long kind of endurance? So for the most part, boss fights end up being very consistent and ending rather quickly, and they're just like unceremonious.
Now, this is a level called Trauma.
This one is very consistent compared to the others.
Yeah. So Trauma, it's quite different. Your movement is bad because, like, if you try to walk in a straight line, the game will move you a random amount perpendicular to that straight line. So you need to constantly, like, adjust. It's technically a stealth level, and it's kind of boring. It's so boring that I'm just going to Alt F4 at the end of this level, to be honest.
Yeah, running Hotline really gives you brain damage on this level, which makes your movement like just kind of really.
Hey Snowfest, is there a story to this game?
Yeah, why are we in hospital?
Yeah, who else here likes hurting other people?
Haha. So I'm just gonna Alt F4, don't mind me.
Yeah, he's just fed up with the game.
Yeah.
It's
technically not a forfeit though.
Yeah.
Though sometimes SRL races will detect it as one.
It's true. Sometimes it just forfeits you. So that's basically a cutscene skip, and it saves like 7 seconds. Now this is Assault. I don't have much to say about it. Oh boy, so it begins.
Snowfest, can you explain everything terrible about this level specifically, please?
Number one, the police, for some reason, cannot be knocked against the wall, where normally that would allow you to execute a lot of enemies rather quickly instead of just knocking them. Number two, there are a lot of enemies on Assault. Number three, a huge number of them have guns. Number four, there are many screens to this level. Number five, it ends in a pseudo-boss fight as well. Number 6, there is both a hidden puzzle piece on this level as well as a hidden mask you need to collect.
To be fair,
the AI for the detectives on the second screen is barely functional. Number 8, first I just saw another enemy survive a gunshot.
Are you kidding me? I love this game.
I should not have lived there.
Also, the screens on Assault tend to be much oh, you feel okay? They tend to be much larger and longer than screens on other ones. I mean, as you get further in the game, the levels tend to get larger and more complex, but Assault kind of takes that really.
It takes it in one risk way too much. Also, if you cared about RNG, Snowbus, can you explain the 3 different main types of AI?
The main AI that you'll be seeing throughout this game will be random roaming enemies, patrolling enemies, and stationary. Stationary enemies can, if they have a... Sometimes, I'll just leave it at that. Sometimes stationary enemies will respond to gunshots, other times they won't. Patrolling or random roaming enemies can always respond to gunshots.
Hey Snowface, quick question. What's the best mask to use for vengeance?
Yeah, you guys are going to be using Jake, right?
Well...
No.
Well... I'll try.
I'm like the only person who likes using Jake on this level.
I used to
and
use
this is the only
Jake.
level. This is the only level where it's ever worth using Jake, just because in all masks you actually unlock him and you're not just using Brandon.
Does this guy want to hear me? Hello? Hello? Okay, good. Jake is really fun because you're so much less likely to get like any knockdowns, but he's hard compared to Tony. Like, you could get a much better... To get as good of a time with Jake compared to Tony, it's just not really worth the effort, at least in my opinion. Oh, I'm gonna do the mask removal glitch, or at least try to. So when you press escape going into this cutscene, for some reason at the end of it, it just takes off your mask. And you do actually lose any power-ups, so if I was using Graham, you'd end up going slower. Which is just this game being itself, really. And my hair flickers when I shoot.
I picked down Juan for a certain level by accident.
Nice. See, the nice thing about using Jake is it means it's actually fastest to use Richter in Showdown. Because you only have to go one down to him.
And the final boss fight that happens on the level Showdown is actually in 3 separate segments, where you first have to fight the 2 Panthers, then you have to fight the mob boss's bodyguard, then you have to fight the boss himself. And it's all over very quickly, because if you know how to actually hurt them, you can kill them essentially right. This boss fight is more of a puzzle in figuring out how to hurt the enemies than it is actual fighting.
Could you explain to me a certain character we're about to encounter?
Yeah, that's right. At the end of Hotline Miami, you don't only play as Jacket. You also, if you remember back in the level Neighbors, at the very end, we had a boss fight against some guy wearing a helmet. That character is Biker, and he's going to become the new playable character for the final and 5th chapter of the game. His levels are very fast-paced, and this is... Reminder, Biker's dead in Hotline Miami 2, but this is essentially a rewind back to see what had happened if Biker had won as opposed to Jacket winning in that fight. And Biker is specifically trying to track down the people making the phone calls, which are the catalyst for this whole game taking place.
Hang on, I'm confused. That sounds like a story to me.
No, don't worry about it. This game doesn't have one.
Okay, good.
Okay, that's reassuring.
But yes, Biker controls entirely differently in this game as well, because whereas Jacket would pick a mask that has some kind of attributes to it, Biker always has the same abilities of having 3 throwing knives, carrying a butcher knife with him, and moving slightly fast.
I tried to go for the fast strat, but it didn't quite work.
You went for the buffet strat.
Yes, I did, and now it's all gone wrong.
That sounds like a buffet strat.
No, you're even further ahead than me because I still need to get the Metro letter.
I think I might have missed the neighbor's letter.
Oh, so
Reminder,
it's going to be
time is
interesting.
not going to stop until we confirm that one of the runners at least has collected every mask.
Like, it's quite hard to miss the actual masks, but it's relatively easy to miss an odd letter or something.
Yeah.
Like the one in Showdown, Vengeance.
Sometimes there'll be, like, some levels, there's actually a weapon over top of it, so you might think you got it, but then you didn't because you weren't actually paying attention quite close enough. It's terrible.
I once lost a PB because that happened. There was in Crackdown, there was a weapon on top of the letter.
Also, speaking of puzzles, the puzzle pieces, they're only in the first 16 levels. Once you get into the biker levels, there's no longer any pieces, but there is one last mask. So
someone help me.
Safe house.
I'm kind of trapped here. I don't know what to do.
The
The guy was just not seeing me. I was trying to play peekaboo like I was playing Hotline 2. Oh man.
So for this, unlike pretty much, there's only 2 levels where you need to not go quick to the menu. It's from prank call into resolution and from showdown into the other one, just because for some reason the save just doesn't go.
Yeah, the game does not consider you as having beaten those levels until you enter the next one for unknown reason. Every other time, though, you've noticed instead of going through the story sequences to get to the next level, the players have just been quitting out to the main menu and then going into chapter select to select the next one because it's significantly faster.
Shoutouts to Beard.
I'm about to do what is called puzzle piece. So let's see if I actually have all the puzzle pieces.
Does anyone here know how to spell?
I hope you all studied for the spelling bee that happens at the end of this run. You will be graded on this.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is do resolution 1, grab the letter, and then do resolution 2, because I know I don't have it. If you don't have a letter, then I might win this.
You have to get. Didn't you miss one?
Yeah, so I need to hope that you have to go back into neighbors to get a letter.
Oh no, I got all of them.
Oh no, it's over.
Oh, I'm.
I
didn't go to the computer, so I could restart it. I solved the puzzle, but I forgot to actually. That would have been my PB for this game, actually.
So you
Only
normally
the highest quality speedrunning content from the Hotline Miami community.
I would have PB'd on stream if I didn't do that.
Oh, that goes there.
Man,
The password that you need at the end of this game is always the same, and it's relevant to the story.
I finished. I'm done.
Oh yeah,
let's go confirm that I
now,
got it.
if you're paying attention very closely there, you may have noticed that my puzzle looks like wrong.
Yeah, explain that, Chris.
So, I don't know if I was the first person to discover this, but like, basically you can put letters on top of each other, and that's just no problem to the game, and there's a few circumstances where it just saves a little bit of time. And that's it really.
Yeah.
Got Phil.
So you just if there's two A's, just put the A in the same spot, and it just counts as being done.
Oh.
It's pretty hilarious. But yeah, that would have been a PB for me if I just went to the computer afterwards. That's hilarious.
I'm reasonably sure I've got them all. Hey, we did it.
These are actually both pretty good runs, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll take a mid-25.
Since we finished early, I just want to show off really quick a couple skips. So remember when we went through Decadence? That was the level, the 4th level of the run. So normally to play it,
I'll get on neighbors.
So in NG any %, we can just do this. We can just go here, execute this guy, start shooting a bit, then just punch this guy, and we're already done with the level.
You know, actually, you can do neighbors. I'll do assault.
Yeah, can you do assault right now?
Assault is hard and it sucks, and luckily we have a skip, and the skip is hard and it sucks, so...
Yeah, assault is a brutal level no matter how you slice it.
Aw. Basically, these two skips are kind of similar in that you need like 2 actual people to do it, because as soon as you walk into level, an invisible wall forms that stops you from leaving. So you use one guy to get you through the invisible wall, and then one guy to actually get you into the car. Easy.
Also, something strange about this game is that how you clip into the car depends on the orientation of the car. If you're playing on one of the levels where the car is aligned, you can just clip into the car willy-nilly and it will immediately take you to the next area.
Oh yeah, so...
if the car is aligned horizontally, you need to clip into the car by pressing yourself between it and out of bounds by knocking an enemy out of bounds and then executing them.
Okay, so the one that I just did, I'm going to do it again. So this is a skip that ultimately found 3 other skips. It was by a random YouTuber, a random YouTube commenter on at the time, world record for the any % category. Oh, I messed it up. So basically, what we didn't know is that, so we'd only done skips on Decadence and Neighbors, but we didn't know that if you get out of bounds and then get yeeted back into the car, then it will just consider you as completing the level. And so a guy just said that we can do that. We replicated it. Then we found 3 other skips, and that ended up saving like 4 minutes off of the world record.
The crazy thing...
random YouTube commenters.
Oh, yeah. The crazy thing, though, is that if you go into the other, like the wrong side of the card, the level just restarts without music. and you have not completed the level. And that's
Yes.
that's basically Hotline Miami.
Yeah, and we just showed off some skips from the other categories. That was a pretty good run from both of us. We were both really close. Actually, I was watching the stream at the same time.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Ugh.
So, GG's.
Thank you for
Calithon
for having us, yeah.
And can everyone do me a favor and donate at least $10? Thank you.
It'd really help us out.
It would really help us.
We have a $5 donation from Big Head 1, just saying kill the animals.
Well, we don't have any animals to kill. We are the animals.
I mean, there's some dogs, but...
Yeah, you've got to take those out. Dogs are like always the worst thing in video games. Let's just be honest about that.
Heck yeah.
And that was it for Hotline Miami with Cursed and Buffet Time. Coming up next is Ring Fit Adventure Extreme with, I believe we did reach the cam incentives, so we're going to get to see the controller cam on that. And that's with Ventifer. Just as a reminder, we have... I hit the wrong button. Just as a reminder, we have a couple of donations. We have the Super Mario 64 Dance Pad Runner Cam. That's going to wrap in about 4 hours. That's $114.05 out of $750. So get your donations in on that. We want to see the Dance Pad on Mario 64. Absolutely. And we also have the Bid Wars that I mentioned before. Save or Kill the Animals. With Kill the Animals at $800.12 and Save the Animals at $407.10. We have the Mega Man 11 soundtrack bid war, instrumental versus original. We have instrumental at $5 and original soundtrack at $0. And then we have the Skyrim marriage bid war between Mercurio, Lydia, Tayri, and Ayla. No donations have come in for any of those just yet, but we are getting there. Thank you guys so much. I, for one, am certainly happy to see all this Ring Fit hype in the chat. Keep that up, y'all. We have a $25.38 donation from DVoid0 with no comment, and then another $25.38 donation from DVoid0 with no comment. Thank you so much for those. Thank you so much for your generosity for those donations. Thank you. And with that, we have reached $4,000 earned for direct relief. Let's see some hype in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Calithon is proud to support Direct Relief. Direct Relief is a humanitarian aid organization active in all 50 states and more than 80 countries, with a mission to improve the health and lives of people affected by poverty or emergencies without regards to politics, religion, or ability to pay. Direct Relief earns a 100% fundraising efficiency rating from Forbes, tops Charity Navigator's list of the 10 best charities everyone's heard of, and is named among the world's most innovative companies in not-for-profit by Fast Company. COVID-19 relief. Direct Relief is coordinating with public health authorities, nonprofit organizations, and businesses in the U.S. to globally to provide personal protective equipment and essential medical items to health workers responding to coronavirus COVID-19. In the U.S., Direct Relief is delivering protective masks, along with exam gloves, isolation gowns, and other protective gear to healthcare organizations across the country. Direct Relief is also staging personal protective equipment with regional response agencies across the world, including in the Caribbean and South America through the Pan American Health Organization. We have a $20 donation from Spacebird. Save all animals, especially the ginger cat. Shout out to my cat Ginger, who's being a total fuzzy nightmare right now. And a $15 anonymous donation. Best wishes and good luck with Corona from a cold country, not Canada.